Have you ever wondered how the magnets that power electric motors, wind turbines, industrial robots, and even the devices you use every day are manufactured? Behind each one lies a gigantic process that begins underground, with the extraction of special minerals, and ends on complex production lines where materials science and engineering are pushed to their limits. Currently, China holds a dominant position in the rare earth magnet industry. It controls over 90% of the refining, processing, and manufacturing of these materials, from neodymium mining in Inner Mongolia to the production of sintered magnets in complex plants located on its eastern coast. Since 2025, the Chinese government has implemented new regulations requiring that any product containing even a minimal percentage of rare earth elements mined in China must have prior authorization before being exported. This has raised concerns in Western industries that rely on these elements to manufacture electric motors, wind turbines, guidance systems, robotics, and industrial machinery. The strategic question is unavoidable. What would happen if China suddenly stopped exporting magnets? The answer would affect automakers, energy companies, technology manufacturers, and, in general, the entire electrical device production chain. The journey of each magnet begins beneath the planet's surface, in mines where minerals containing rare earth elements such as neodymium, samarium, barium, or strontium are found. Specialized geologists conduct detailed studies to identify veins rich in strategic elements. Once the subsurface composition is confirmed, they drill multiple exploratory wells to precisely calculate the ideal location for extraction. Unlike iron or coal mining, which is typically more aggressive and large-scale, rare earth mining requires much greater precision. When the ore is trapped within hard rock, carefully measured explosives are used. The key is to minimize damage to the ore blocks. They must remain intact without internal fractures to preserve their chemical composition. After the blast, loaders, conveyor belts, and heavy trucks move the material to sorting yards. There, the blocks are separated according to their type and mineral content. The entire process is carried out under strict conditions, as these minerals may contain traces of uranium or thorium, so dust and gases must be constantly monitored and contained. Once extracted, the blocks undergo an initial cleaning stage that removes clay, dust, and other surface impurities. They then enter the grinding section, where giant ball mills or jet mills transform the rocks into ultrafine powder. To maintain the crystalline structure intact, operators control the rotation speed between 20 and 30 RPM, while the jet mills operate at pressures ranging from 85 to 100 PS1. This process lasts several hours, until particles between 3 and 10 microns are obtained, smaller than a pollen grain. Throughout the grinding process, the internal temperature should never exceed 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 82 degrees Celsius. Excessive temperatures could alter the atomic structure of the minerals, reduce their natural magnetism, or even ruin their potential for magnet manufacturing. The resulting powder is cooled using inert gas and then passed through multi-layer sieves that classify the grains according to their size. With the material now reduced to fine powder comes one of the most delicate steps: flotation, a chemical mechanism that separates the valuable elements from the rest of the minerals. The powder is mixed with water and special reagents in enormous sealed tanks. When the system injects air, the rare earth particles attach to the bubbles and float to the surface. The heavier impurities sink. This process can take between 1 and 2 hours and is carried out in completely sealed tanks to prevent the release of toxic particles. Precision is critical. Rare earth elements are found in very small concentrations, and any error can ruin an entire batch. Once the foam rich in elements such as neodymium, samarium, or iron oxide has been collected, the material is ready for the next stage: preparation of raw materials and mixing of components. Before melting the metals, engineers analyze the purity, moisture, and elemental composition of each batch. To manufacture neodymium iron boron (NdFeB) magnets, exact quantities of the following are combined: neodymium iron boron. To manufacture ferrite magnets, the following are mixed: iron oxide barium or strontium. Each component is weighed with millimeter precision, as the magnetic properties depend entirely on the exact proportions. The mixing takes place in sealed chambers to prevent contamination. Once all the materials have been weighed and mixed in the exact proportions, one of the most important phases of the process begins: the melting and creation of the alloy that will become the magnets. To do this, the mixture is placed in an induction furnace specially designed to work with highly reactive metals. The first step is to evacuate the inner chamber to create a near-total vacuum. Then, argon gas is injected until the space is filled. This controlled environment is essential. Any presence of oxygen or moisture could trigger an immediate reaction, especially with neodymium, which oxidizes in seconds upon contact with air. Once the environment is secured, the furnace begins to gradually raise the temperature until it reaches between 2,500 and 3,000 degrees Celsius, levels capable of completely melting even the most resistant metals. The mixture remains in this liquid state for 2 to 4 hours, enough time for all the elements to combine uniformly, forming a stable and perfectly homogeneous alloy. But the process doesn't end there. To obtain an optimal microstructure, the molten alloy is poured onto a metal drum that rotates at high speed. The instantaneous contact with the cold surface causes almost immediate solidification, generating thin metal sheets with extremely uniform crystals. This rapid cooling is key. If the metal were to cool slowly, the crystals would grow too large and the final structure would lose quality, directly affecting the magnet's magnetic strength. These thin sheets are the starting point for the next stages, where they will be crushed, aligned, and turned into the blocks that will later awaken their magnetic force. Once the metal sheets have solidified, they are reprocessed to achieve the most useful form for magnet manufacturing, an ultrafine powder. To achieve this, the sheets are fed into special crushers operating in a completely sealed environment filled with inert gas. This prevents any contact with oxygen, which could damage the material's structure. After several stages of pulverization, the metal becomes a dark grey powder with a slight violet tint. Each particle is microscopic and possesses the perfect composition to develop an intense and stable magnetic field. With the powder prepared, it's time to shape it. The material is placed inside steel molds and subjected to very precise pressing, while an extremely powerful magnetic field passes through the mold. In those critical few seconds, millions of particles align themselves like tiny compasses, all pointing in exactly the same direction. This alignment is the basis of the magnet's future strength. The process demands total control. Even a minimal change in applied pressure or field strength can disrupt the internal orientation and reduce magnetic power. Therefore, every parameter is adjusted with absolute precision. The final result is compacted but still fragile blocks, known as green blocks or raw materials. Although they don't yet possess the final strength or magnetic force, they represent the first solid step toward creating the ultimate magnet. The metal sheets are re-shredded in a controlled environment with inert gas. The result is a dark grey powder with a slight violet tint, made up of microscopic particles with perfect magnetic properties. This powder is placed inside steel molds and pressed under an extremely powerful magnetic field. For a few seconds, millions of particles align like tiny compasses pointing to the same pole. Any variation in pressure or field intensity could ruin the internal orientation and drastically weaken the magnet. The result is compact, still fragile blocks known as green blocks or rough pieces. Sintering, the heart of the process. The freshly pressed blocks appear solid, but they are extremely brittle. To make them strong, they are placed in airtight kilns, where they are gradually heated to 2,200 to 2,400 degrees Celsius. For 4 or 5 hours, the particles begin to weld together, eliminating internal voids and reaching a density close to that of solid metal. The material is then slowly cooled to solidify the crystalline structure, a key step in preserving its future magnetic strength. Finally, an additional stage at about 950 degrees Celsius completely stabilizes the internal structure. Once sintered, the blocks are machined to obtain the final shape of the magnet. This process may include diamond cutting, high-precision grinding controlled drilling. After machining, it's time for polishing and protection. Neodymium magnets are very sensitive to humidity and oxygen, so they receive a protective coating, which can be nickel, zinc, or epoxy. This coating acts as a shield. Without it, the magnet would oxidize rapidly and lose its strength in just a few weeks. Once protected, the magnets move on to a crucial stage, magnetization. Up to this point, they look like ordinary metal pieces without defined poles. Everything changes when they are placed between the terminals of a pulse magnetizer. In just a few milliseconds, the device releases a discharge of between 2,000 and 3,000 volts, generating a magnetic field of 3 to 5 teslas, thousands of times stronger than the Earth's magnetic field. This burst of energy causes all the internal magnetic domains to align in the same direction, unleashing the magnet's true power. But the process must be precise. A weak pulse leaves the piece under-magnetized, and an excessive pulse can generate internal stresses or even fractures. This is where precision transforms a simple metal block into a magnet ready to power motors, sensors, and modern technology. Before leaving the factory, each magnet undergoes a crucial stage: final inspection. Here, everything is checked with millimeter precision. First, its magnetic strength is measured to confirm it meets the required level. Then, the orientation of its poles is verified to ensure it functions exactly as designed. Its heat resistance and the quality of its anti-corrosion coating are also tested, essential for preventing the material from degrading over time. If any magnet fails, it is demagnetized and returned to the process. Only those that pass all the tests advance to packaging. In this phase, each piece is separated with non-magnetic materials to prevent them from sticking together or interfering with other electronic components. Furthermore, the packaging is designed to withstand shocks and vibrations during transport, guaranteeing that the magnets arrive in perfect condition at any factory or assembly line where they will be used. The magnets manufactured on these production lines end up distributed around the world, powering essential technologies. In electric vehicles, they enable motors to generate strong and stable magnetic fields, increasing efficiency and performance. In wind turbines, their precise alignment converts the wind's rotation into clean energy. They are also key in industrial robots, where they ensure accurate and repetitive movements. In medicine, MRI machines rely on extremely powerful magnets to obtain clear images of the human body. They are even everywhere in our daily lives. Speakers, hard drives, sensors, phones, and electronic locks all function thanks to them. Invisible yet indispensable, these magnets are the silent force behind modern technology.